Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the big show, the Big Three DFS show here. We are here for week 7 of the NFL season. Yes, thank you. Far too kind. As always, joined by the money man down the ATX, Adam Wagner.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm phenomenal. How are you doing?
I'm wet. It's raining for 3 days.
Yeah, that's right. I seen a lot of those the college football games there in Texas yesterday. A bit of a shit show, if you will.
It has rained. We needed it. Don't get me wrong. We've needed it, but it has just been nothing but pissing on us for about 3 days now. It's been pretty gruesome, buddy. How was the bathroom, buddy? Pretty gruesome.
Yeah, I met a girl in Texas that she liked it, so, you know.
Yeah. Oh, you got to.
Not the rain, the other thing.
Right, I got you.
But I didn't. I was not one for that.
Whatever. Sweet, what the fuck are you doing?
Sweet.
I'm trying to get this game to stream. What's going on, fellas? How we doing?
What's up, brother?
Happy Sunday.
Are you really trying to watch a football game between Buffalo and Jacksonville? Like, all right, you could watch.
I mean,
like,
it's free.
If it comes on the Red Zone channel, that's fine. But like, are you trying to watch Jacksonville and Buffalo right now?
I wasn't trying to watch it. I just wanted it to be on so I could monitor any fantasy points that may be accrued. That's all.
Okay. I mean, no, seriously, this is more exciting than Buffalo Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm excited.
Paper mache how to do is more exciting than Buffalo Jacksonville.
Speaking of paper mache, I watched another episode of The Office last night where he put that.
Hell of a segue. Hey, you know, before we get into football, I watched that Entourage movie this weekend.
Waste of time?
It was basically like 2 hours worth of cameos. That's it. Like, they really tried.
The dialogue? I'm dying to know what the plot was. Like, is it something that my wife and I should actually take 2 hours of our night and watch?
Yeah, if you watched all the Entourage episodes, yeah, you should.
Okay.
But I'm not happy with it. You know, it's like if I wanted to watch a bunch of cameos, you know, I'd just go walk in Hollywood myself. You know. For
sure. Yeah, I still got to get into Ballers, man. Everybody is raving about Ballers, dude. I got to get into it, man. I can't even bring myself to watch the new startup season of The Walking Dead. I just haven't turned it on yet. I got too much work to do.
I thought Ballers started out kind of slow, but I really did like the end of it. So I don't know. Maybe it's just because I had time away from it. I watched like the first 3 episodes back in like July, and then I just finished it like during the week. So. That's how we roll.
Yeah, sorry, I got some. Everybody, let me tell you guys something, okay? For all of our viewers and all of our listeners, man, that are watching now, thank you so much. And but you guys got to know that we're doing this show right now, so I can't really be answering a whole bunch of questions. Just watch the show and we'll tell you, all right?
Why not, Wagner? Answer the damn questions. Let's go, bro.
Okay. Well, you know, who's to play? Obviously, Dion Lewis or Chris Johnson. I'm Dion Lewis, clearly.
Dion Lewis is out, I think.
He's gonna be out. Yeah, gonna be out.
Okay. Well, hey, Ryan Allen, if you're watching the show, don't put Dion Lewis in. He's out.
Yeah, you should know that, Brian.
Put LeGarrette Blount in.
Yeah, LeGarrette Blount. Got to go all the way. If Dion Lewis is out, boom. Got to go with LeGarrette Blount. Ryan Allen, there you go.
How about neither of them? How about you don't go with LeGarrette Blount? How about you don't go with anybody?
This has to be a season-long question. You know?
Oh, yes. Then full speed ahead with Blount.
Full speed ahead.
Yeah, I don't like either of them in the daily game, but you know that's why we're here. I guess we got some season longs as well. I mean, hell, man, we got to get to it. All right, so typically, you know, if this is your first time here around the barnyard, what we like to do, we like to go down the line with the most relevant fantasy games and break a couple plays down like that, and then at the end of the show, we'll get into a couple of the other people that matter around here.
Right. It's a party. We like it's Sunday, you know. People are quiet. They're going off to their Sunday little church seminars and everything. No, not us. No, this is our sermon right here. This is our sermon.
I feel like Jesus would kick me out if I came to church.
He loves everybody.
Except me. All right. This one's for Jesus. I'm gonna make him a believer. All right.
Jesus is the reason for the season.
For you, Jesus.
That might be the greatest quote. I'm going to make Jesus a believer. All right.
I think it's the reason for the season is like a Christmas thing, brother. Hey, don't give me credit. That's not mine. I can't take that.
Hey, Jesus, if you're watching, subscribe to the Wagner Wire for free. We'll send you the newsletter.
Of course. And we're talking about God, not some guy from Miami named Jesus.
Right. Yeah, not Jesus Quintana or somebody.
All right. All Twitter answers all Twitter questions are answered. Let's do this.
Twitter fingers turn to trigger fingers. All right. All right. So I guess the most relevant fantasy game of the day has to be the New Orleans Saints. 4-point underdogs at the Indianapolis Colts. 51.5 is our total in this one. 71% of the bettors are fans of the Colts. And new little segment we're going to add this week. I'm going to throw in some team projections on this one.
Some what?
Some team projections. So, for instance, the Saints are slated to score just under 24 points, while the Colts are slated to score just over 28 points. Tons of fantasy goodness here. Wags, kick us off, baby.
Well, I mean, you got to look at it. First question, how's Breeze's arm or his shoulder? It looks to be okay. Is Ben Watson going to repeat 15 targets today? No. I don't believe it. I believe that the offense actually runs through Mark Ingram now. Look for Breeze. Instead of Breeze hitting that deep ball, he likes to move up through progressions going from the line of scrimmage forward. Look for Willie Snead to stretch that defense vertically and make some plays happen. But more than likely, it's going to be a lot of underneath to Mark Ingram. On the other side of the ball, I like Moncrief, man. It looks like Luck is back.
Sweet. What do you like here?
I believe I like who you like. I like T.Y. Hilton in this game a lot. I think it's time for the T.Y. Hilton-Andrew Luck connection to pick up where they left off last year. I could see this being one
last week, right?
Yeah, I believe he did get on the board last week. I think that was his first touchdown of the year.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I think I kind of said this on Wednesday. I think when Andrew Luck gets back to his level, it's going to be because T.Y. Hilton is involved as well as Dante Moncrief. I think they're both good plays today, but I definitely think T.Y. Hilton's getting back in the groove of things.
Guys, I got to ask, man, Andre Johnson, a physical force to be reckoned with in any other season. Tried to dried up a little bit last year, but I thought we would see a reemergence with this guy this year going to a prolific offense like the Colts have. Again, Luck has not been Luck in the early campaigns of this season. However, what do you see going forward with this team? Do you think Andre Johnson can find himself a role here? Can he establish himself as a key possession wide receiver, getting the first downs, maybe 10 receptions a game, sneaking that touchdown in there every now and then? What do you say, Al?
I'm going to go with no, and no.
Damn it, Bobby!
Andre Johnson, he's so useless. If I were having a pizza party today, I wouldn't even invite him. All right, I'd probably invite like an offensive lineman, and he would probably eat more pizza than everybody else at the party combined.
I don't know. The guy's cut like a diamond. It doesn't look like he puts down that much pizza.
Yeah, part of the reason that, I guess for a lot of the struggles was that obviously, Luck didn't even play a couple of these games. The big game that Johnson did have, Luck wasn't even in there. Look, Johnson's just old, and it's tough for a new player in the offense, especially at a skill position to kind of, find his footing in with the new team. This might be his last season. Maybe he wants more crack at it after what's going on right now, but he really likes Moncrief. That's his dude right now. They really trust him down in the red zone, especially. I do want to get into some picks for this game too. But to answer your question, I don't think this is going to get any better. I don't think it could get any worse, but it's not going to be that great for Johnson going forward.
Well, we'll see. That's why they play the game. That's why they play the game.
I put the jersey on. Sweet, what do you think?
I think part of the reason why the Colts have not looked that great as an offense so far is because they're trying to fit Johnson into their offense, and I think the sooner they move away from that and get Dorsett in there, I think the sooner that offense is going to be a lot better. You heard the grumblings out of the Texans that they basically knew he was getting slower, and they weren't sad to see him go. So I don't know, man. I hate to say it. A lot of guys can transition to a more possession role. If he starts trying to do that, maybe he'll figure something out because he's been one of the best wide receivers of the last 10 years, hands down.
He knows how to get open, and he knows how to he's got great hands.
Well, he's gonna have to show it then.
He's got to do something, man. Make
right
something
on.
Gore seems to be producing, from
Gore's Gore, man. He's the same dude he's been the last 3 or 4 years.
That's a tremendous segue into my plays that I like for this game. Yeah, we done on Andre Johnson?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm done for the rest of the year unless you guys want to keep bringing him back up.
Yeah.
The guy won me a championship a couple of years ago. The guy.
Well, a couple of
I
years
feel
ago.
you on that. He never won me a championship once, Aaron Hernandez, but I'm not going to bring him up anymore. I promise you guys that.
If you can get Johnson in like the 7th or 8th round, that was a pretty good steal.
Right.
All right. Yeah, I really do like Frank Gore today. 4,900 on DK. 15 touches every game this year. So, definitely going to have him. Not much of a backup to help with anything there. So he will get some touches, and I think he'll have 2 touchdowns today. If this game plays out the way that I think it will. Back to the line real quick on the game. This was kind of heavy favored by Indy. Kind of dropped down to 4, which is a little scary, but I still think both teams are going to get their grind on with
bro.
Yeah, in terms of fantasy relevance. So we should be fine there. I know Wags, you mentioned Ingram. Definitely a great play as well. Just everybody who thought that CJ Spiller was going to finally come into his own, you could just shoot yourself and stop wondering when that's going to happen because
he's still at Clemson.
Yeah, Ingram, he's definitely getting a lot of touches out of the backfield, carries and catches, so you definitely want to have him. Today, I definitely like Moncrief over Hilton. Reason why, for the New Orleans Saints, they got a guy, Bro. They got a Bro. Their cornerback, the number 1 guy, he's actually in the top 10 in the NFL, graded out. So you definitely want to probably go with Moncrief. Now, Bro's probably going to be on Hilton, but he could very well easily switch up to Moncrief. That's why I'm going to do Hilton in one lineup and then Moncrief in a couple. But I think you want to have exposure to both those Colts receivers today.
You guys been watching the Colts a lot this year?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I haven't been able to tell. I haven't seen much of their games this year. Is Moncrief lined up in the slot, or is he split out? Or are they putting Hilton in the slot?
Moncrief's on the outside.
All right.
He's like, if we're going, like on your TV, if we're going from your right to your left, he's typically on the bottom of the screen.
Gotcha.
So,
All right,
yeah,
but I just want to find out whoever's in that slot, whoever gets stationed in the slot receiver this week for Indianapolis is going to scorch the Saints.
All right. Yeah, that very well could be Hilton. But yeah, look, they switch these guys up all over the place.
For sure. It depends on the packages that you're putting in for the offense. So.
Shout. All right, let's get to the next game. I really like this game a lot today, especially for millionaire makers and big tournaments all over the joint. We got the New England Patriots hosting the New York Jets. New England 7-point favorite right now. Total of 47.5. And then let's look at the team totals here real quick. Where the hell did they go? I got the new mouse. Things are working well. Jets projected to score just under 20 points, while the Patriots are projected to score just over 28 points in this one. Sweet, start us off for this game.
This game, I think you definitely like the Patriots to win this game. Well, we talked about the defense. The defense could definitely get involved with Ryan Fitzpatrick on the other side of the ball. Deion Lewis is out. That's, I guess,
Is he officially out?
I don't know if he's officially out, but it sounds, from everything I've heard, it sounds like he's not going to go today.
Yeah, I did hear he was very questionable. Big
yeah, so maybe he's not officially out. I don't know, but
he came in. I was going to say he came into the stadium today on a golf cart. So
that's not good. Adam Schefter when we need him.
Yeah, so
ESPN.
So LeGarrette Blount's going to get the bulk of the carries, I would think. Still against a tough defense, so I don't know. He's a GPP play at best. On the other side of the ball, I think we kind of touched on it on Wednesday, but I like Decker in this game a lot because I think they will try to take away Marshall. I think Decker is a good play in GPP lineups.
They do. I mean, that is Belichick's MO, man. He takes away your best weapon. And right now, the Jets have two great weapons. One's Chris Ivory, the other one's Brandon Marshall, and look for Eric Decker to get in there and sneak in.
And Decker's been great. Decker's been good in his own right. You know,
he's kind of every week.
Every week. Every week.
All right. Yeah, and to speak on that New England situation, James White could be in line for all of Dion Lewis's touches. Now granted, LeGarrette Blount, yeah, you can see some carries, but we talked about this on Wednesday where the Jets are very good clogging up the middle. Well, that's where LeGarrette Blount runs. The Jets defense right now in terms of fantasy, they are in the top 10 right now at every skill position. So quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, tight ends, they're in the top 10 defending every single one of those. I don't really give a shit. I'm rolling Tom Brady and Gronk out in a lot of lineups today. I just like them. The way that this line started in the week, damn near Patriots -10. Something's gonna happen here today, and that something's gonna be Brady hitting Gronk. He hasn't really touched Gronk in a while. I mean, yeah, he got the touchdown last week, but guess what? I mean, he hasn't had that Gronkalicious day that we all know.
That's like week 3, right? Or week 1, rather.
Yeah, and I saw Gronk on the freaking Entourage movie this weekend, so it was like a sign from above, like, play this man.
It's Gronkalicious, baby.
He did.
Yeah, dude, that's the disclaimer. We talk about tight ends. We're just gonna save you guys time. Get Gronkowski in your lineup every week, just because you never know he's gonna go off. He's Brady's favorite target, but he does cost a lot of money. So just for the disclaimer, Gronkowski should always be in your lineup.
Yeah, and granted, there are a lot of great value plays at tight end today. Oh my god! But I mean, listen, this is Gronk, and Edelman, we saw his finger go in a way that it's not supposed to go last week. So, yeah, I mean, look, he's not listed on the injury report, but I don't know. If my finger were bent that way, I should know that as an English major. But if it were that way, I don't know if I'd be wanting to catch so many balls. I'd be like, here, you guys take it. Don't worry, it's all good.
We're not all OBJ. We can't catch with 3 fingers.
Yeah, right. Holy Moses. All right, so any other place in this game? Because I think we got a lot.
No, I think I don't want to beat a dead horse. I think Chris Ivory, he gets a touchdown today. He gets over 100 yards. New England's given up 117 yards on the ground. I see Chris Ivory, to use your lovely word, I see Chris Ivory making this come into fruition here. It's going to be a nice little day for the running back from the Jets.
All right, I like it too. Sweet, anything else before we move on?
No, I'm good.
All right. So keep in mind for that news about Dion Lewis, because if not, you get James White there for $3,000. I like him a lot more than Christine Michael, who's also a $3,000 as a running back play. So just remember to watch out for that news. No, I really like James White today if Dion Lewis is out. And then also the Patriots defense, sneaky play here today, could be worth something. I know they give up a lot of rushing yards. But, like I said earlier in the week, this line was basically at -10, and we saw a high total on it. That's kind of the route that I'm going with defenses from here on out. But, yeah, it's going to
scores a lot, too.
Indeed. It's going to be very hard to pass up on that Rams 2,400 today. But if you do, this is a nice little punt play here. All right, moving along. We got to get to, I like this one, Atlanta at Tennessee. Atlanta, favorite 5.5. Over under 46.5. A lot of bets on Atlanta. Damn near 90% of the bets going with them. I cannot find these totals, but if you guys want to start talking, I'll get it real quick.
I like Devontae Freeman here. Especially with a little bit of weather coming.
Oh, do you? Do you like Devontae Freeman?
That way to Tennessee. I mean, with the weather coming in, it's not looking like a Julio Jones day. Of course, any day could be a Julio Jones day. But, Devontae Freeman, he's solidified himself as the featured back in Atlanta. He's also solidified himself that the offense goes through Devontae Freeman. So I think this guy is a lock. He's got to be in your lineup, especially with the weather coming in at Tennessee. A little bit high for price, but get him in your lineup, feature him. He's going to do you some good.
Weather not as torrential. I mean, there will be some dew on the ground, but it's not a torrential downpour, so it should be all right. I mean, it'll be wet, but it won't be like Texas wet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. a little moist in here.
Yeah. That's another good. I wanted to bring that too. Not too much weather issue in the NFL today, so should be a relatively clean day here. This is probably this in New England, the rain looks like it already passed too. I think here in Jersey, kind of shitty out, so maybe something in the Giants-Dallas game, but relatively should be a good day for weather in the NFL. Sweet. What do you got?
Yeah, I love Devontae Freeman today. I think he's to the territory where you just need to start him every week until you see otherwise. He's still not the most expensive running back, which at this point he just should be. I'm not taking anything away from Le'Veon Bell. He's a great player as well, but
once Ben comes back, we'll see Le'Veon get back.
Yeah. But I mean, Freeman's just getting it done every week. I think that Julio would be fine, but he's expensive. He's even more expensive than Hopkins. So, I don't know. On the other side of the ball, I can't really recommend anyone from Tennessee in this game. But I do like the Falcons' defense today. I'm actually going to play them in a league.
You don't think?
No, I don't love Mettenberger. I mean, in this world we live in, he could be a fine GPP play because you just never know. It's not like Atlanta hasn't given up yards through the air, but
I just don't get the NFL this year. I can't figure it out. So.
Well, since nobody else has a play on Tennessee, I guess I got to bring the punch to the party. Delaney Walker today.
Okay, I like that.
3,900 on DK. Did you know in 3 of Mettenberger's 6 starts last season, Delaney Walker had 7 or more targets in those games?
I did see that.
Yes, good stat there from JM on Roto Grinders. He's always got a great column. Definitely read that. But no, I mean, look, last year, when Tennessee drafted Mariota, I was like, what are you doing? Like, you kind of got a capable quarterback here in Mettenberger. Now, granted, he's not, a Matt Ryan or a Andrew Luck, or I'm not even going to say on the same level as Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers.
No, but he reminded me of a young Ben Roethlisberger, though.
But yeah, Mettenberger is damn near serviceable. So, I mean, even at $5,000 today, I could do something with that. Here's the deal. Tennessee, they're not a huge running team, so Mettenberger is going to be throwing the ball a lot, especially against this Atlanta team. And look, I think the jury's still out on this team. Everybody sees all the touchdowns they put up. I'm not that impressed. They have played a lot of weak teams this year, so I'm not gonna. Oh, I should say they've played a lot of weak passing teams.
Right.
So if we look back to the season, they've played Bradford. They've played Whedon.
They played the East. They played they played the Giants, but I mean
they went 4-0 in the East.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you got Kirk Cousins. You also got who else? And then they played Hoyer and Mallett from Houston. So yeah, you can say that this Atlanta defense is great, but let's look at who they played before we start anointing people king of the world. What Atlanta gave up to friggin' Watson last week on Thursday Night Football. I mean, Lenny Walker should have 2 touchdowns. So for 3,900, if you want to kind of pivot off that Gronk thing, or you want to go Gronk and maybe throw Delaney in as a flex play, let's have some fun.
Yeah, complete anomaly there with Watson. I'm not sure.
And then on the Atlanta side of the ball, I mean, happy to not take Devontae Freeman. I think he's going to be like 80% owned today. I really don't see how you – and then another running back in St. Louis. Basically, your lineups today are going to come down to quarterback and receivers because I'm pretty sure that everyone's going to have Freeman, Gurley, and the Rams defense. So if you do want to take a play off of that, then, why not a Matt Ryan, Julio Jones lineup? I'm going to have one today. I'm just going to see how it goes. Just a tip.
Just a tip, DZ.
But, yeah, I mean, look, Julio Jones hasn't gone off in a while. It's time, and – according to Football Outsiders here in New York, I'm reading now, the Titans are the 6th best pass defense in the league, but they are the worst run defense. So, take that however you want to take it. Obviously, I'm going to have a ton of lineups that have Freeman in there, but, I don't mind having a Matt Ryan, Julio Jones lineup just to see if they get back on track.
Yeah, well, there you have it there. That's going to definitely put the nail in the coffin. Devonta Freeman is going to be highly owned.
Oh, yeah. I went to bed thinking like 60%, and I woke up, I was like, yeah, he's going to be everywhere.
We are in our fantasy prime when we are just going to bed thinking about stats.
Oh, my God. Well,
sad, man.
Not even stats. Percentages owned. You know what I mean? Percentages owned.
Here, I'll bring up a good story since it makes sense. The lady I was sleeping with last week, right? She wakes up and says, you talk a lot in your sleep. And I was like, oh, what was I talking about? She's like, you're talking about touchdowns and you need this many points and this and that. And I was like, oh. So, yeah, I guess I talk about it in my sleep.
I said the same thing. I had a nocturnal jerk. I said, no, take him out.
I don't know.
What are you doing? No, take him out. Take him out.
I
don't have a flashback in war. No, I wasn't.
I don't know if that's sad or impressive, but I mean, hey, look, we're dedicated about something, right?
Hey, we love our job. That's that's another good idea. I'm gonna say it off the air because I don't want anybody to steal it. But I got a great shirt idea. Another shirt. Speaking of shirts, all you loyal and fun fantasy footballers, man, fantasy sport DFSers, man, you DFS champions. If you want to have a shirt, the Wagner Wire shirt, Team Wagner Wire, if you just want to be a part of it, we're going to be at the DFS Players Conference. We're going to be handing out free shirts thanks to MaximumFantasySports.com. Bill Parsons, thank you very much. You hooked it up. We're going to have some koozies there to keep your beers cold. Al hates koozies. Speaking of koozies, I love Yevgeny Kuznetsov for the Washington Capitals. I had to throw that in there, man. I just had to throw that in there, dude.
Loves that koozie, man.
Back to football. Sorry, guys.
Well, hold on. Since you brought up hockey, I got to bring up one. Well, the Lightning traveled back to Chicago for the first time last night since losing the Cup. 0-0 going into overtime. Yeah, I know. Yeah, because my college football late slate was done pretty early, so I popped that game on only to be saddened.
You're going to. I mean, look at that line though in overtime though. Kane, Taves. That's a hard line to beat, dude.
How fun is the 3-on-3 overtime?
I love them. It is so much fun, man. I love it. I love it.
All right.
And one mixtape out there.
If you take a shot to the wide side of the net and you miss, and you're out of play. And now, now you have a breakout, and it's all. All right, off NHL.
Yeah. Well,
I have one every week. I lost last night, but don't worry about it. I'm not helping out in NFL, but I am kicking ass in NHL. So come with it, baby.
He's the hockey man. Breaking news here: Jeremy Maclin inactive today against the Steelers. So load up all your Travis Kelce. That actually might take me off the Gronk.
Yeah.
Go straight to Kelce and the Walker combo. So, ooh, baby. I'm getting – all right, there. I can't say that on there. All right, next game, fantasy relevance. Now, in terms of public opinion, this might be one of those yawner games. Now, I am a fan, and this game is in Sweet's backyard. So, of course it's fantasy relevant. We're talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 3-point underdog at the Washington Redskins. 41 is the total here, so that's not too sexy. But the Redskins are slated to score about 23, while the Bucs are slated to score about 20 points.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a ton of fantasy.
I think there's some sexiness in this.
Yeah.
Can I start taking off my clothes and get sexy real quick?
No. But
I meant that's a metaphor. I meant with
you can lead it off.
Lead off.
All right.
Terrible with these metaphors. I was an awful rapper. Awful. We tried to make a career in it, and just.
I did a rap song once.
I was worse than Parappa the Rapper on PlayStation.
Man, it's bad.
You know what I mean? So, anyways, you bring up some sexiness. Doug Martin is going to be sexy for me today. He's in some lineups with that Washington defense who creates sort of like a mirage, so to speak, thinking that they're an awesome defense. They're not. They're okay on passing defense. I'll give them that. But on the ground, they're giving up 118 yards a game. I think that speaks high volumes for Doug today. It's a Doug day. It's a Doug Martin day. Get him in your lineup, baby.
Now, this is interesting because I was thinking about this last night and doing some notes for the show. Week 1 kind of comes back full circle here because I don't know if you remember.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
No, in a good way. Way. Because remember our running backs for the first week were Doug Martin and Lamar Miller, who left a lot out on the table. Like they didn't even step it on the field. But remember that week 1, I said, Washington is really good against the run, but I'm not so convinced. Well, it's finally coming to fruition now. As we've seen the Redskins, they've given up almost 200 yards each in the last 2 weeks, and a touchdown as well. Everybody who thought this Redskins, rush defense was great, well, guess what? That's certainly not the case anymore. My boy Dougie there at 4,900. You gotta love this guy. Also, Chris Sims here at 3,600. I said it on Wednesday after that game against Jacksonville. Doug Martin and Chris Sims were actually the highest duo total
Charles
yards.
Sims.
What did I say, Chris?
Yeah.
Well, he's a former Buck too, so.
Yeah, he doesn't have a spleen, I don't think.
Yeah, but yeah, Martin and Sims, they were the highest duo of running backs with total yards after that game. So you definitely got to look at these guys as good plays. I mean, it is time for Jameis Winston to start opening it up to Mike Evans. Definitely going to have some Mike Evans exposure today. I believe he's at 6,400 on DK, 75 on FanDuel. I love both of those plays now. You don't want to put them in the same lineup since we have this relatively low total. Definitely do one lineup Martin, one lineup with Evans. But I think both these guys could be in for a nice day today.
The best thing about Chris Sims was that he was a Longhorn.
Yeah.
His father was Phil.
Yeah.
Phil can do no wrong. Phil Sims is the only guy that can talk back to Bill Parcells, by the way. Anyways, you bring up a good point with Mike Evans. I have a question. One of my cousins, he's dating a girl who's got Mike Evans and
break up with her. Break up with her. Live the single life.
Don't do it, Corey. Don't break up with her. Anyways, she's got Mike Evans and Vincent Jackson, and she's always asking me, who to play this week. Well, Vincent Jackson got started off, with more targets, and now I just think, there's more of a rapport, more of a chemistry between Winston and Evans. Is that kind of how you're seeing it as well? You're the residential Bucks fan here.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, and the thing too is Tampa Bay just had the bye week, and I was reading a lot of articles that were saying that they really are trying to get Evans more involved. He's, for Christ's sakes, he was their #1 pick last year. You gotta show the volume. And a good thing too with this matchup is that the Redskins are going to play a lot of one-on-one on the outside, which Evans, he can just go up and get the ball. I feel like Washington will try to stack the middle, cut off the head of the run game here for the Bucks. But yeah, I mean, if it's going to be one-on-one on the outside with Evans and Vincent Jackson, I mean, then both of them can certainly be in play. Now, here's the deal: is that Evans, yeah, he's got a lot higher upside than Vincent Jackson, but Vincent Jackson has been the more, I guess, reliable of the two, you could say. If we're looking in terms of targets, I got to pull this up here because I just had it, but. Vincent Jackson has 38 targets this year. Mike Evans actually 33, so it's kind of, but that has a lot to do with earlier in the season.
Right. Evans missed the game too, right?
Yes, he did. Week 1, and week 2, he's basically just the biggest decoy of all time. But yeah, I mean, so even with that said, you can see Evans' targets coming up here in the last couple weeks. But yeah, I really like Evans in this spot, but it's going to be hard to pass up on a running back as talented as Doug Martin for 4,900 as well.
Yeah, I agree. There's some other running backs. If we come to that game, we'll especially the ones that you two put me on this week. If we come across that game, we'll talk.
All right. Because I got another play from this game. I talked about it on Wednesday, and I still absolutely love it. Anybody else want to go first?
For the Bucks? No.
For the Skins.
Oh, for the Skins? Here's the thing with the Skins, man. Cousins is great, or not great. He's shown that he can manage a ball game. That's not what you want in fantasy football.
Right.
You also don't want a running back full of who the hell's going to get the ball, and that's what you have for the Skins. You don't know if it's going to be Jones, Morris, or what's the other guy?
Thompson.
I can't hear you.
Chris Thompson.
Thompson. He's inactive. Thompson's inactive today.
All right, so now you get to choose between one or two. All right, great. And it's a 50-50 chance. Right now it looks like Matt Jones is the fresher legs. He's got the wheels, but he's got a fumbling problem. So we'll see if Gruden likes that or not.
All right, and also breaking news came out 1 minute, actually 57 seconds ago, from our boy Matthew Berry. Jordan Reed is active for today, so that's a nice play
There we
against
go.
Tampa going
Good
today.
play.
There we go.
That wasn't my play, but Pierre Garçon was the guy who I was talking about. Now, even with Jordan Reed being in the lineup, that opens up more for Garçon. But, the thing that I like about Garçon is the defense that Tampa plays. The cover two, Garçon's the kind of receiver that can fit in the nooks and crannies of a defense, and I think he'll do this all freaking day today. I think this is going to be a huge day for Garçon, so load it up.
I'd like to see one more week of Garçon has been putting up. I mean, he's been consistent. He's been putting up some points. I'd like to see a breakout game from Garçon. This could be it. I could be on the bandwagon, sitting there watching parade go by. But I'm not willing to take that chance this week. Like I said, one more week of productivity from Garçon, and then especially with Reed coming back into the offense, and let's see how this kicks in next week.
Yeah, it could work out either way. I think I'm going to have a little less exposure to Garçon. I did have him in every single lineup that I made, but now that Reed's back, I'll probably take him out of a couple. I don't know. Maybe I'll throw Reed in one. We'll see. But
I'm sorry to break you up on this. I'm watching the top 10 plays on ESPN, and Yevgeny Kuznetsov has been in 5 of them.
Really?
Yes.
All right. More hockey. All right.
Sorry, guys. I'm a Caps fan.
All right. So when we're looking at the 1 o'clock slate, I guess these are all the fantasy relevant games. Minnesota, Detroit has some. Do you guys have any from there real quick to brush over?
From Detroit and Minnesota, I do. I got a home run hitter here. It's the Maryland Terrapin himself, Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
You've seen the guy break out last week. He's getting like 14 points per week now for fantasy. I think that's what he's pulling in on average. This is a great GPP play here, especially with Johnson not being in the offense. I think he's still out. Charles Johnson, that is the wide receiver.
He'll be back today, but I don't know.
He won't be a factor. Even if he comes back, it's his first week back. He's not going to be a factor. They haven't had that much practice. He hasn't had that much reps with Teddy B. I think Teddy B has found something here in a young wide receiver like Stephon Diggs. Mike Wallace has been coaching him along. You got some speed now on both sides. You got Adrian Peterson in the backfield. He's a little banged up. I don't know if he's going to go. He's not banged up. He's got like an illness. I think.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. He's
good. Go.
All right. Well then, yeah. Look for Teddy B to break open on this.
Excuse me. What's his name?
Teddy B.
Teddy Biz.
Oh, that's right. We renamed it. Sorry, Teddy Biz. Teddy Biz. Give him the business.
Get his name right, Oliver. All right. Yeah, I love Diggs, and you're right that with Charles being back in the line, they play kind of 2 different receiver slot positions there, so that won't matter much. But yeah, Stephon Diggs. Look, he hadn't even caught a pass up until I believe it was week 5, or he hadn't even been thrown a target. Last 2 games, he's just been absolutely killing it. 4,200 at that suppressed price point. Gotta love it.
Anybody that's watched the Maryland Terrapins play, watched this kid play throughout his career at Maryland, his scholastic, his academia career at Maryland, knows that this guy can make plays. He played in the ACC most of his time in college against teams that were far more superior than he was. Well, not as a talent, but overall the team performance was just highly better than the Maryland Terrapins.
Yeah, Maryland sucked. It's okay.
Yeah, exactly. He was still producing. That's why he's having success. It's carried over into the NFL. His speed can't be neutralized because he's just as fast as everyone else out there. So he's got it. I think it's a great play for a GPP. I don't want to beat this up anymore. Get him in your lineup.
Sweet. Anybody from the Motor City?
I think you saw Calvin get in his groove last week. I think he might be a good GPP guy. Him and Stafford probably be a little more low owned. You get them in some GPP stacks. Another person who's coming back is Eric Ebron, who actually was doing pretty good early in the season, catching touchdowns. I believe he's only 3,000 on DK, so that's another cheap guy.
You're an Ebron fan, I think.
Yeah, I like Ebron.
Yeah.
You can suck it. All right. Let's get to now the late slate today is interesting because we only have 2 games on it. So basically, I guess we're going to start it here with. Now we both got residential advisors from both games here in the late slate, so we'll kick it off with Sweet. The Raiders traveling to his Chargers. Chargers 4-point favorites here. Got a total of 47. Raiders around the 21-point range. Chargers at 25 in terms of projected scoring. I got a great play here, but Sweet, we got to start it with you.
All right, we got a lot of injury news with the Chargers to start things off. We got basically everyone but Phillip Rivers is questionable to play in this game, so he's the one guy that I know for sure you can start and be okay with. But Keenan Allen, who's questionable, I believe he's going to play, or at least that's the grumblings. Antonio Gates sounds a little more like he may not play. We'll just have to monitor that situation, and if he doesn't play, you got a $2,900 DraftKings tight end named Ladarius Green that you can plug right in.
Green right now.
I am too.
I came off.
And then Stevie Johnson, he's another one who I think is supposed to play. If for some reason Keenan Allen doesn't play, someone like Stevie Johnson would get a huge bump. And then you got the rookie Melvin Gordon. He also is basically a game-time decision. So Danny Woodhead would be a good play, and maybe a real sneaky GPP play would be Brandon Oliver. So you pretty much got the whole offense of the Chargers.
How about Malcolm Floyd?
And Malcolm Floyd, that's another guy. I mean, I will say if Gates doesn't play and Keenan Allen does play, I think it could be a really big Keenan Allen day because that seems to be where most of the targets go to when Gates is not in there. I don't think you're ever going to see Green have like 9 for 90 like Gates has been having. I just don't think the rapport is there yet. He has been catching touchdowns, but I just don't think the rapport is there where he's going to get all the third down, the chain moving catches like Gates does. And I mean, we've seen Keenan Allen's got I think 3 games of close to 15 and 150. So That is the guy I would target if he does play and Gates does not play. Yeah, if you can make your lineups work.
I wanted to bring it because I just saw the stat. So, all right, we're looking at targets here on the Chargers. Keenan Allen has 71 targets, and the next highest would be Floyd at 31. So
already, Jesus.
I know. Oh my God. There we go.
Keenan Allen's like only 100 yards less than he had all of last year.
Yeah, 601 right now, 3 TDs for Keenan Allen. I got the Chargers stats up. We're not going blind here. But yeah, I like Woodhead here. And then we just have to be aware of what's going to happen with all those injuries because that seems like a lot. I for one will not be on the Ladarius Green train going at tight end. I understand that that's a nice value there at the tight end, but I'm not going that way. I don't think that he's going to do as great a job. Now here's the deal: if Keenan Allen plays, and let's say Gates is the one that's out of the lineup. Well, we saw earlier in the season where, San Diego kind of went more Stevie Johnson instead of Ladarius Green. So I think Johnson might actually be a good play if this doesn't work. I understand Oakland is completely inept at defending the tight end, but, another thing, too, is the line in this game really scares me. Like, San Diego should be favored by a lot more in this. I understand 4 is...
I don't think so.
4 is still a little high there, but, I'm just...
throw the ball, too, now.
Yeah,
I think Oakland's looks like the better team, honestly.
Good, yeah, but that's what I mean.
They're more complete. I would say Oakland's the more complete team.
I agree with that.
I just think when the stars come out for San Diego, they come out. So I mean that's so cliche.
They have to win this game.
That's a cop-out type of answer, but I mean it's true. When San Diego stars come out and play, they win. It's how it is, man. I don't get it. But overall, the more I would say, the more complete team is the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah, now, if we're talking about Oakland, I like some plays here. Wags, you got anything from any of these guys?
Actually, I don't have any Oakland players in my lineup this week. Amari Cooper is always a great play, especially against the San Diego defense. Latavius Murray, he's a great running back. I think that he can get busy this week, especially going up against that San Diego defense as well. I don't want to take anybody's. I don't want to take everybody's stuff away. I'm just throwing out some names here. These are some guys that I think that can actually perform for a low price. Derek Carr. Derek Carr is a really good steal today, going up against that San Diego defense. I'm not sure his price, but I know he's undervalued. He's probably going to be low. He's going to have low ownership today in all leagues or in all contest play. Check him out.
All right. Sweet. Who do you like from the Raiders?
Latavius Murray's got to be the guy that you target today. Every week we talk about how bad the Chargers' run defense is. I think Wags brings it up. Usually it's like 128 or 132 yards a game. So that's the guy I think that Amari Cooper, I think, is a guy who you can start every week. He's going to get you something, but Latavius Murray is the guy you want to target against the Chargers.
Especially on the road. On the road, the Raiders, I mean, they don't have to go far, but, they're going to look.
I'd like to touch on that real quick, Wagner, since you said on the road. There's going to be as many Raiders fans at this game as there are going to be Chargers fans because people in Southern California like the Raiders more than the Chargers, especially the ones that may have some gang affiliations. So
True.
I know
there's anything wrong with
people. No, nothing wrong with that. People have been killed at this game before, so that's all I'm gonna say. I don't expect it to be a great home field advantage for the Chargers unless they're playing someone like the Jaguars who don't have any fans.
Right.
And you know what? I'm going to be mad when they move, but at the same time, can you really blame them? Because, I'm a diehard Chargers fan living out on the East Coast, going to see the team as much as I can. And you got all these people that, would rather catch a wave or, go to the San Diego Zoo than go to a damn Chargers game. So, sorry if I'm venting a little bit. I'm a little frustrated with this whole situation. But, you guys enjoy that nice weather out there. And, you guys get your suntans and go to the Gaslamp District and have your Appletinis or whatever, but you could be at the game, saving this damn team so they don't move up to L.A. where all the other people that don't give a damn about football are going to go to the game. So that's all. That's my piece. Sorry about that.
The hell with you, San Diego. Well, whale's vagina.
I just want to say one thing. I do not like to go to the zoo, so I just want to throw that out there. It doesn't matter what city I'm in. The Bronx.
New York or San Diego, we're not going.
Definitely not the Bronx Zoo.
I do not like the zoo. Well, the Bronx Zoo is right there on the street, so it's not even
Connecticut.
I got one more play here from the Raiders. I think Michael Crabtree could be decent here. I know Barrett's usually the guy that goes up against the main receiver for the number one receiver for the opposing team. Michael Crabtree's actually been pretty good this year. Got some decent stats here. 48 targets for him, 27 receptions, 318 through the air. I know this isn't an ideal, but if you're going to do one of those late slates where you're doing the 4 o'clock games and the Sunday night and the Monday night, I think Crabtree would be a nice play here.
I like that play.
I can see that.
All right.
Hey, I got some updates real quick. So it looks like in that New England-New York Jets game, Dion Lewis will be officially inactive. So there it is. It's going to be a LeGarrette Blount day on the ground for Bill
Give me
Belichick.
all that James White for receptions for $3,000. Give it to me.
You're making me want to grab some James White now.
Yeah, get some James White. Get some. Anything else from that game?
No,
I think we pretty much covered every position player for the Chargers, so I think we're good.
Right on.
All right. Yeah, then we got to go to Wags boys up in my country up here. Dallas Cowboys, boo, at the New York Giants. Giants are a 3-point favorite now, which is very interesting. 44.5 is the total on this one. Wags, kick it off. What do we got? Yeah.
Dallas giving up 254 yards through the air. That's a little inviting for Eli Manning. However, their run defense. Well, we all know that the Giants don't have a run defense. I was huge on Vereen last week. Catching balls out of the backfield. That turned out not happening. Dallas has given up 95 yards on the ground as well. So look for the air. Look for the air arsenal to be out for the Green Bay. For the New York Giants. Here's the thing. What do the Giants not do well?
Defend the
Cover
tight end
the
position.
tight end. Cover the tight end. And this guy, Jason Witten, he's going to get into the Hall of Fame alone just off of his numbers on the Giants. True.
Nice.
It's true. He will get into the Hall of Fame. He will get the yellow jacket based off of the numbers that he has against the Giants. Clearly.
Big Jack.
And then, so get Jason Witten into your lineup. They're coming off of a bye. Matt Castle has been implemented. I think they had a bye last week, I believe. Matt Castle is coming off. He's starting to get implemented into the offense. They had some week to get some chemistry down between him and Witten. I don't see the wide receiver core of the Dallas Cowboys being too much of a factor. I can see some Colt or some Beasley, getting busy up in the middle, just because we don't know how to defend the middle. But on the other side of the ball, easy Eli, man, easy Eli. He's been doing it all year long. Even with OBJ's, dinged up hamstring or whatever, look for him to still get busy against this Dallas depleted defense. Greg Hardy's back. That's great. That makes me a little reluctant to play Eli Manning. But if we can get somebody to block the front four of the Dallas Cowboys, we should have a successful, or the New York Giants should have a successful day and make that line a little bit more.
Now, Dallas definitely has a lot of guys coming back today. I know you mentioned Hardy, Randy Gregory is back for this one. I believe they get an offensive lineman back as well. I could see Dallas, absolutely winning this game.
I see Dallas winning this game.
I don't want to, but again, the point I was going to get to is that I do think that this could be a very high-scoring game as well. With all that being said, guys coming back from Dallas, I know Eli Manning got absolutely just pounded last week, because the Giants couldn't block the Philly.
They can't block anybody, man. They cannot block anybody.
So what we could see, I could see Vereen. I know he broke our hearts last time, but in a late only matchup, I could see Vereen being a nice flex play here.
Here's my concern.
We gotta get the ball out quick.
They had Jennings in there. Jennings couldn't get anything going running the ball. Then they put Brown in there, or Williams in there. Williams couldn't get anything going. So they put Vereen in there for 2 plays. He gets productivity with 12 yards. They take him out. Don't put him back in. I don't get it. I'm not getting paid to call the plays. I'm not McAdoo. Just give me some goddamn consistency. That's all I want. And Victor Cruz, thank you for watching this show. But hey, let's get serious. Come onto the field and let's get ready to play. Stop worrying about what your next acting gig is going to be, and who cares about the next season of fucking Ballers. Get on the field and let's get ready to play. Sorry. Now I'm done venting.
He had some good appearances on Ballers. I'm glad, mine came off a win and a bye week, so I didn't have to vent. But next week, I'm sure I will. I don't know. I think we could be washed. There's a couple spots here. Vereen, possibly. I mean, again, it's not my favorite play in the world. I think he could probably do a little better than Eli Manning in terms of price this week. OBJ, definitely want to have some exposure to him. Jason Witten's a great play. I might even take a flyer on Terrence Williams. I got him in the season long, so I hope he does something today. Again, this is all, nothing from this game screams, I got to have you in my Millie Maker except Jason Witten. That would probably be the only play that I would have from this. But, for the late slate only, we got to look at a couple people. And, Beckham and Witten are probably mess starts, but that's really it for me. But I do think there will be points in this game. It's just going to come from different
area of people. Not going to be the stars.
Right.
So I got a running back play for the Dallas Cowboys.
All right.
It sounds like Joseph Randle is still going to be the starter for this team, even though we got the Christian Michael hype train going earlier this week. The running back I like to play in this game is Darren McFadden, because he is now the passing down back. He is the guy who is going to take the Lance Dunbar role. He has already, and that's the guy who's going to get you the guaranteed points in DraftKings with the PPR. So that's the guy I'd play from this, and it'd almost be a better cash game play, and definitely a good play in the late slate only stuff.
All right, I like it. I can get on board with that. 3,100 on DK, $6,000 on FanDuel. Let's have some fun with it. All right, let's move it over. Now, we got here the Philadelphia Eagles at the Panthers. We got to get through these last two real quick.
Snooze on this game. Snooze on this game.
All right, so let's just go. I'm not going to go through the spreads and stuff like that, but anybody like anyone here?
No.
I like Ted Ginn Jr.
Okay, I can see that. And on the other side of the ball, I actually like Josh Huff. I think Josh Huff is doing exactly what Ted Ginn is doing on the other side.
Yep.
I dig it. DeMarco Murray definitely in play for me in this one. Carolina, okay defense, but they are pretty susceptible against the run. So late slate only, I'm going to have me some Murray. Other than that, both of these defenses too. It's going to be a slick field. This is a game that's going to have some drizzle to it. Again, not a horrible factor to go against, but I actually like both defenses here in this one. Philly, I could see them scoring a touchdown. Carolina, I could see them sacking the shit out of Bradford all night. So, however you want to get those points, I think
Bradford is lost. Bradford,
yeah.
Bradford's been giving turnovers away like they're, I don't know, something that's free.
T-shirts?
Yeah, there you go. Like their maximum fantasy T-shirts at the DFS con.
Hey Sam, I got a job. Hey man, if you can come up to the DFS Players Conference November 12th through the 14th at the Grand Marquis Marriott, please come in there. Just sit at our booth and hand out some shirts for us while we do some networking. That'd be great. Thanks.
Yeah. We might even get some homeless people. I mean, they're all over Manhattan, so we can just grab a couple people.
That's free advertising right there.
It is. Yeah. We can get a couple of people from the Port Authority bus terminal to just sit in the booth for a while. I mean, those T-shirts will probably
maybe someone at JFK, someone when people getting off the plane.
Well, sweet, that's not that close to the hotel.
No, it's not. It's not. People are still gonna have to get to New York somehow.
3-hour drive to get there from 5 miles away.
Maybe put a few on some Uber drivers, something like that.
Oh yeah, goodbye taxis. You're done. All right. Last game on the slate. Monday night game. Ravens traveling out to the desert. They already have 53 holes shoveled out there for them because they'll be dead after this one. Cards, 7.5 point favorite. I believe 8.5 now. 48 total. But, yeah, this is cards all day. I have no plays from Baltimore except maybe Steve Smith. Maybe Steve Smith. Anybody else?
No.
Maybe Kamar Aiken in a GPP because Steve Smith could be as locked down as he can be, but he's still going to probably punch someone in the face.
Maybe Tucker.
That's what he does.
Maybe Tucker?
Yeah, I think the turf is okay in Arizona, so he probably won't fall in any holes in the turf like he did in San Francisco. But
I see Tucker scoring a lot of points here. I see Flacco moving the ball, but also turning it over as well. I see most of the Ravens' points coming from field goals.
This is probably just the one team this week where you could be like, no thanks. All right, so for the Cardinals, correct me if I'm wrong, but Carson Palmer's an absolute beast. Coming off of that loss against Pittsburgh, they're going to be stewing over that one. I look for a monster game from him and high ownership from Carson Palmer in this one.
Yeah.
And then basically anyone on the Cardinals offense is in play because Baltimore is god-awful against the pass, 32nd against quarterbacks, 31st against wide receivers. Get busy, people. Get busy with your red jerseys on.
Larry Fitzgerald, get him in the lineup. He's priced around high 7,000s. I'm not sure what he is on DK.
7,400.
7,400. Okay, so still around the same value here. Larry Fitzgerald's going to get busy. And also, I really believe that Josh Brown, if he's healthy, Sweet and I mentioned it a little earlier in the week. Most of this guy's points comes off of yardage in receptions. I'd love to see Josh Brown get into the end zone. You could probably see him have a 40-point day if he does that. Christ. But no, it seems that Larry Fitzgerald is the red zone target, and Josh Brown's the big playmaker, or John Brown, rather, is the big playmaker. I still, either of these wide receivers, you have a great option. John Brown, obviously, significantly far more inexpensive. Check him out for your prices on DK and FanDuel as well. But Larry Fitzgerald definitely seems to be a lock for wide receiver this week.
I'm guaranteeing a John Brown touchdown this week. And if he doesn't, and he plays. If he does not score a touchdown, come to the DFS con. We'll give you a free T-shirt.
Oh shit, Brown, you better score, bro.
Yeah.
Come to the DFS Players Conference, and we will give you a free T-shirt if he does not score.
And we kind of touched on this to ourselves before we came on the air, but if you do put John Brown in your lineup, you can switch him out for Michael Floyd if he doesn't go. I mean, Michael Floyd, for as much as he hasn't lived up to the hype, he's been seeing a lot of snaps, and he's been much more involved the last few weeks than he has been
Well, I mean, he had a friggin' bone go through his hand, so I'm going to give him a pass on that one.
Yeah. Okay. So he's got. All right.
We'll give him a pass, I guess.
And he's a former Notre Damer, so all
Got
good. All right, we got to go because shit ton of lineups to get to make alterations to, especially with the James White news. So good luck out there today. Be safe. Don't drink and drive. And
Hit the bartenders, damn it.
What a time to be alive, right, fellas?
yes, what a time to be alive.
All right. Hey, DFS Players Conference coming up November 12th through the 14th. Team Wagner Wire will be in heavy dosage there. We will be there kicking it live, doing a live show there. The three of us are going to be on the same platform for the first time ever. We're trying to get Matthew Berry to come on the show. Still no response yet. Clearly.
What a dick.
Come on, Matthew Berry.
Come on, TMR.
Bud. Come on over. Anyhow, it's going to be a lot of awesome going to be a great time. There's going to be some good questions that come up. We're going to see what the shelf life is for DFS. We're going to see if it continues to carry on. So we're going to make it carry on, damn it. November 12th through the 14th, New York City, the Grand Marquis Marriott, Times Square, Al's neck of the woods. Be there.
Yeah, I'll be dancing naked, so definitely come see it.
I'll join. Don't drive me a good time. I'll be there.
And also, my website's up now, too, alwallsdfs.com. NBA previews will be up before the season starts. Got 2 divisions up there. Just finished the Southeast Division last night, so West Coast coming before Tuesday. And then, hopefully, we get ourselves an NBA show in here before then. So, we'll discuss that amongst ourselves, and we'll make it available on Twitter. But shit is hectic right now. The struggle is real. So, again, good luck. All that crap I said before about not drinking and driving, don't do it. We don't need any catastrophes out there. So I don't know why I'm coming.
Sounds good.
All right, have fun. Later.
Later,
Peace.
boys.